Welcome back to our coverage of the virtual winter meetings. It doesn't have the same ring to it, I know, but we've had some deals to talk about this week. Therefore, we need to get ahead of the next move. It's time for our inside info with our virtual insiders roundtable. We got Chuck Garfien. He covers the White Sox for NBC Chicago. Jesse Rogers also covers baseball in Chi-Town. He's talking Cubs with us today. Ian Brown knows the Red Sox, and Derek Gould all about the Cardinals. I'll start with you, Derek. We were talking earlier, Dan O'Donnell and I, about a Francisco Lindor fit maybe, because that's the hot name. He's going to get traded, and the Blue Jays are interested. If the Blue Jays are interested and he'd be willing to go there and sign a long-term deal, why not St. Louis? Are you getting any buzz about a Francisco Lindor trade in the Lou?
Not much, no. In fact, we just had a chance to talk with John Mozeliak, and he had an opportunity to talk about the shortstop position and lauded Paul DeYoung, the incumbent there, as a guy who could win a Gold Glove and somebody who could hit in the middle of the order. You haven't had much traction for that kind of conversation, even though you can see how it lines up. Certainly, the Cardinals have made a trend, and they like to do this, where they trade for somebody who is near the end of their contract, whether 1 or 2 years to go, and then keep them, sell them on staying here, and then sign them long term. They did that with Paul Goldschmidt. They did that with Matt Holliday. You think about what they did with Ozuna and then let him go. So, and you can dial it back to Edmonds and Roland and all those guys. So it is a trend, so you can see how it all fits. But no, it just doesn't seem like the Cardinals at this point are into taking on that additional salary with that additional unknown.
No buzz for that in St. Louis. Ian Brown, I want to come to you. The Boston Red Sox are sitting there hearing their AL East rival, Toronto Blue Jays, are ready to spend all this cash, maybe trade some resources to go get Francisco Lindor. Are the Red Sox about to do anything this winter? And if they are, is it all about the starting rotation first?
Yeah, this is going to be a much more eventful winter than last year. They obviously need a starting pitcher. They're going to need the center fielder. Jackie Bradley Jr. is a free agent. So, yeah, I think the Red Sox are going to be in on some big-name players. And they need to create some excitement in the hot stove. You saw last year wasn't a very good one in Boston, and I'm sure Chaim Bloom knows that he has to do something to get the fans, excited about this team. He's got Alex Cora back, so that was a good start. But definitely need another marquee player to create some buzz.
Yeah, Jesse Rogers, we know how important the fans are. And north side of Chicago, all the attention is being paid to the south side at the moment. The White Sox are making moves to win right now. Are the Cubs going to do anything like that this winter?
No, it doesn't sound like it. They're really caught in between here as a team that's not really a World Series contender, but they're also not a bottom feeder. So Jed Hoyer, the new president of baseball operations, really has to thread that needle. That's a phrase they've used over the last 12 months or so with this team. And the ideal situation, ironically, is what the Yankees were able to do a couple years ago in retooling when they traded Aroldis Chapman to the Cubs for Gleyber Torres, who is now a mainstay with the Yankees. This is what Jed Hoyer needs to do. He needs to hit a home run with a trade, sort of revamp their offense, retool their starting staff. They have Darvish, they have Hendricks, but not a lot behind it. And without fans in the stands right now and the uncertain revenue situation, it's probably a good time to sort of retool and maybe have to punt on 21. I thought they were going to punt on 20, but they actually came out of the box fast, won the division. They may have to punt on 21 and get back at it quickly, just kind of like the Yankees did a couple years ago.
Yeah, it's a bummer, though, covering a team that's punting on a 2021 season. Time for Chuck Garfien. Chuck, man, this is fun for you, right? I mean, all these other guys are hoping their team is spending money. Your squad is spending. They're trading for guys like Lance Lynn. What's the next move from the Southsiders?
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm the outlier here. Cardinals, Red Sox, Cubs. What are you doing? It's the winter meetings. Do something. It's all White Sox. We're doing everything. We'll carry you. We'll carry you guys through this winter meetings, and I think we're helping LB Network. The White Sox are helping us and LB Network, giving us stuff to talk about. So the White Sox have been busy. What's the next move? What's the third move of the week? Maybe a closer. That would be nice. Alex Kalnick could come back. If not him, Liam Hendricks. We've heard his name bantered about. There's also Michael Brantley. That would be great to get another left-handed bat. They got Adam Eaton already. Michael Brantley is someone who has been admired, certainly with the White Sox for so long. When you saw what he did with the Indians in their division. So we'll see if that is an answer, but it's going to come down to cost. I mean, listen, the White Sox are in a position where they weren't spending so much because they were ready for this time. A pandemic happened and yet they're still finding ways to spend money because they know it's go time. It's win now for the White Sox. So they're finding their way through it despite the problems economically throughout baseball.
There's so many fun things to talk about with the White Sox. With Lance Lynn now, Chuck, in the rotation, we'll come right back to you with this. I love what they got. They got Cease, they got Lynn, they got Keuchel, and then Giolito. The question mark is the kid that was trying to throw 106 miles an hour, Michael Kopech. What are you hearing about him? And is he going to be the answer in the 5 spot, or would it be Ronaldo Lopez, or do they even add another pitcher in free agency?
Yeah, they might add another pitcher in free agency. Here's the thing with Kopech. He really hasn't pitched since 2018. So do you want to go into 2021 relying on him because it's just too much unknown right off the bat if he's going to be ready? The hope is that he'll be ready and he could maybe start day one. But do you want to rely on that? This is a team that is ready to win right now. So I could see them going out and getting another starting pitcher or finding someone from within their organization to be the number 5 guy, with the idea that Michael Kopech could very easily be a part of this rotation in 2021, but will he be ready come opening day? That is a question.
All right, so much stuff to get to quickly, guys. Jesse, I want to go to you. Chris Bryant will be in a Cubs uniform on opening day. You feel good about that?
Not really, but I'm a year late on this. I thought he'd probably be gone at the beginning of last year. I think they're just waiting for the right deal. Free agent in a year, set to make about $19-20 million. Probably needs a change of scenery. The guy's a great player. For some reason, things kind of went backwards for him. Beat up a little bit by the fans and the media, probably unfairly. Not probably, definitely unfairly. Has had to deal with some injuries. So if he gets a change of scenery, he's probably going to return to form and maybe come up with another MVP year. But they got to hear the right thing. They may have to take 50 cents on the dollar for him.
And Derek Gould, the chances Wainwright and or Molina or both are back with the Cardinals on opening day.
That's the team's focus right now, given all the things that they've been discussing as they have ongoing talks with both of them. Sure seems like the forces are there to push them and Molina back together for the final 2 years of his career. It looks a little less certain there with Wainwright. He'd like to hear from them, but he also recognizes that he may have to make a call because there'll be other teams interested. But right now, the Cardinals are hopeful, I would say, that both of them are back with the Cardinals, and then they can move on to other decisions they have to make.
And Ian, I want to ask you about Andrew Benintendi and his future with the Boston Red Sox. It looks like they have really fallen out of love with the outfielder.
Yeah, I don't know if it's that. He hasn't played that well. Last year was just a disaster for him, coming off a subpar year the year before. But it was hard to judge because he had that injury in his right rib cage about 15 games into the season, and we didn't see him anymore. So his stats look terrible. But, there's no reason for them to give up on this guy just yet. And, his value isn't high right now. So you're going to at least let him build up some value if you're going to move him at some point.
All right, I'm going to fly
I think
around.
They have every reason to think that he can come back next year and be a good player.
Okay, real quick, I'm going to fly around. Ian, I'll start with you. Give me one big name that your team will sign if you knew they were going to sign one at the end of the winter. Who would it be, Ian?
Yeah, George Springer. Put this guy in the top of the lineup. You have Mookie Betts' replacement a year late.
Love it.
And he knows Alex Cora. He was roommates with Matt Barnes in college. This Red Sox assistant hitting coach, Pete Fatse. He's another UConn guy who has a good relationship with Springer. So, I'm all in on Springer to the Red Sox.
All right, Jesse, I'm out of time. I just need a name. Give me that one name. Who would it be for the Cubs?
If they could sign anyone, Trevor Bauer, Darvish, and Hendricks, heck, Chuck could bat for them. They'd be in the playoffs.
Love that. Chuck, what about you? Give me that one name the White Sox are going to get.
I would love them to get Brantley. How funny would it be? Not funny. Jose Quintana. Got Eaton back, bring Quintana back.
All right, and Derek, I'll end with you. Cardinals get one guy, one big name. Who would it be?
Does Molina count? No, I think it's probably a left-handed hitting outfielder. That's certainly where they're headed. Maybe it's Jock Peterson. But they also left open the possibility they're talking trade. So that means I probably got to get on the phone, Greg.